Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripe.
What's stronger in modern politics? A 5-second zinger or 10 seconds of calm that changes the topic? Trump mocked Obama's Harvard law cred for an easy laugh. The room popped. Then Obama did the unthinkable. No clapback, no insult, just a quiet pivot to competence and the grind. If you've ever wondered how to flip an attack without feeding it, keep watching. We'll unpack the tone shift, the symbolism of Harvard in American culture, and why the press called Obama's move a masterclass in narrative control. The room laughs, the cameras zoom, and Grumpy Trumpy leans into the mic like he's doing stand-up. He cracks that Harvard is a fancy clubhouse, like a velvet rope lounge for coastal brunch people, and says Obama's law degree is basically decorative wallpaper. Not a tool, just a shiny frame. Big laugh, short line, meme ready. So why did that clean hit feel messy by the end of the night? Here's how the bit lands. He tosses Harvard into the elite bubble box, says it gives status, not substance, and frames Obama's credential as a wall ornament. He hams it up about the Ivy scene, hinting they hand out degrees to the well-connected, and paints Obama's diploma like a gold leaf sticker for the resume. The crowd loves the simplicity. He sells the image in 5 seconds. Harvard equals fancy, fancy equals fake. The end. But that gag taps a deep nerve. People hear Harvard and think gatekeepers, legacies, and a hallway full of smug, coastal snob vibes, the kind that call your hometown flyover with a grin. When Trump calls the degree wallpaper, he's not only tagging Obama, he's swiping at everyone who ever got told they weren't good enough because they didn't have the right school on their hoodie. That's a raw spot. It mixes class grievance with cultural resentment, and it turns a diploma into a symbol of a club that keeps the door half shut. A quick story. The rally clip rockets across feeds. Snappy caption, shaky phone cam, the laugh line hits right on loop. By noon, commentary shows are clipping it into their panels. Some pundits nod that the seed is planted. Elitist equals out of touch. That's the whole payload. You don't need a footnote for that. You just need 5 seconds and a chuckle track. This is the anti-elitist playbook in plain English. Keep it fast, punchy, and repeatable. Don't weigh it down with facts or nuance. Push identity over detail. Who's on your team and who thinks they're above you? It's not about proof, it's about a feeling. Feelings travel faster than citations. That's why the joke works live and online. It fits in a headline, it fits in a tweet, and it asks for no homework. Now the irony that never gets old. The same guy swinging at Ivy League norms loves waving his Wharton ties like a VIP bracelet. He'll sneer at fancy schools one breath, then brag about his own fancy school the next. No sense of the clash, no wink, just a straight face. That inconsistency doesn't hurt him in the room because the punchline isn't built for consistency. It's built for team spirit. Jerseys beat receipts. There's also a timing factor that favors him. When wallets feel tight and rent climbs, distrust of elites shoots up. People look at panels of experts and think, great, more lectures from folks who never missed a car payment. In that mood, simple stories win the first impression. A complicated defense always shows up late to the party. Now we're at the core contrast. If a degree is wallpaper, it just sits there and looks nice. If a degree is a tool, it gets used, it gets scratched, it does work. Trump's joke stakes everything on the first version. But what happens if the wallpaper talks back? What if it explains the work? That's the boomerang risk. When you reduce someone to decor, you invite them to define the labor behind it. So yes, the bit worked in the room. Clean target, clean laugh, clear team marker. He painted Harvard as a toy for the rich and Obama's credential as a prop. The audience nodded along because the message asked almost nothing of them. But the moment didn't end on stage. Obama didn't swing low, didn't throw a nickname, didn't chase the meme. He shifted the tone and flipped the frame. turning wallpaper into work and the laugh line into a setup he could quietly dismantle. No roast, no shout, just a slow pivot. The room leans in like it's waiting for the dunk, and he takes the air out of it with a calmer tone that somehow lands heavier than Grumpy Trumpy's punchline. Why does the quiet answer sound louder than the joke? Because silence with substance carries weight. A whisper with receipts beats a yell with vibes. You could feel the volume drop while the stakes went up. That's not an accident, that's control. He starts by stripping the glitter off the Harvard myth. No velvet rope here, more like a grindhouse with fluorescent lights and stale coffee. Think 80-hour weeks, stacks of reading that make your eyes hurt, and every seat filled by someone who graduated first in their class. It's not a brunch club, it's varsity-level legal work. He talks like someone who lifted the heavy thing, not someone posing next to it. Less flex, more mileage. The point lands without a cheer line. The tension tightens because he won't play the insult game. The crowd waits for a rim shot on Donnie Diapers, and instead he serves discipline. That move risks flat energy in the room, but it buys something bigger, credibility. He refuses the bait, keeps his hands clean, and lets the work speak. The question hangs. Will people respect the steady hand over the slap? You could see heads nod even without the laugh. Then he gets specific about the Harvard Law Review. That gig isn't a ribbon, it's a gauntlet. The path in is brutal. The selection chews you up, and once you're there, the pace is relentless. You lead a swarm of type A brains through edit wars that decide what arguments even make it onto the page. You manage case crunches, where the footnote you approve today shapes how people read the law tomorrow. You referee disputes, you assign notes, you argue over commas like they're Supreme Court votes. That's not wallpaper. That's the wiring in the house. Temperament under attack is the tell. In governing, the loudest guy rarely fixes the leak. Calm is not softness, it's control under load. You want someone who can read the brief, hold the room, and wait out the heat. Punchlines are quick calories. Patience is stamina. And in a crisis, stamina wins meetings. We've seen this movie in campaigns. Viral zingers trend by dinner, but steady moments move the needle by morning. The snark gets replayed, the measured answer gets respected. Remember the times candidates traded insults while the grown-up at the end of the table kept outlining the plan? The clip life was short, the impression stuck longer. Memes sprint. Leadership walks you to the polling booth. There's research behind that gut check. In high-conflict settings, calm delivery boosts credibility and trust. People read poise as honesty and control. When voices spike, the one that stays level sounds like the adult in the room. That's not magic, it's perception. And politics is built on what people think they're hearing. So the degree stops being a gold frame and becomes proof of intellectual warfare. Briefing books marked up to the edges. Case law burned into memory. Debate under fire until the argument holds. It's not a shiny plaque, it's a toolbox with dents. The value isn't the crest on the paper, it's the grind in the person.